I'm not sure if this worked, but if it did, hello. It says I'm live. I don't usually, I'm not usually the one that controls the stuff. I'm not sure if this worked, but if it did, hello. It says I'm live. I don't usually. Oh man. I think it worked. Oh, okay. Look, I'm not usually the techie one, but hello, it says there's people here. So I'm trying to figure out how to make StreamYard work. And Lily's in the background, just hanging out, just having a good time. So yes, I hit 2K recently, and I had said I was gonna do like a birthday live stream, and I never did because life is crazy during the summer. So I figured I'd just kind of hop on and do it, and I got a bunch of questions, so I thought that would be fun, like a Q&A type video. And thank you guys. Hi, look, I see comments now. They like all came in at once, like they didn't want to load. Just hello. Hi, and I'm excited for our live stream tomorrow for Bands of Mourning. Like, I'm more excited about that because I just am ready to talk about Bands of Mourning and just all of the Cosmere. Hello. It's always surprising that people actually show up, you know, for me. I'm just always like, oh, no one will show up. It'll be fine, whatever. And then it's like, oh, there's people here. But yeah, so if any of y'all have any like of the Q&A questions, I'm just going to go off the list of what people left on the community tab and a couple that people left in like my Instagram stories. Some of them were some really cool questions that I would have never thought of. Okay. Yeah. It was just like all at once. I'm like, oh, where'd they all come from? Yes, Lily, my fat old lady dog is just over there. She's my hangout buddy. Unless my husband's home. Then she's up his butt. And I'm like, who am I? Nobody important. I'm not the one that rescued her 13 years ago. Apparently. My husband comes home, she forgets all about me. Cytonic. Like, I guess new release would be Cytonic. One that's not a new release, I'm really excited to get to like Oathbringer and Rhythm of War. Finally. With you guys. Because that's going to be interesting. I don't know if I can read the whole book in 1 month though. That's like my worry. Is when we do like when we start on Stormlight for like our crab along, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to read a whole Stormlight book in a month. Cause that's like frightening to me. They're so long. So pretty much everything is Brandon Sanderson at this point. Cytonic and Stormlight. I want to finish Stormlight. But fall recommendations. I feel like I'm bad at seasonal ones only because like I read sci-fi fantasy all year round. I feel like so many people are like, we read fantasy in the fall and contemporaries in the spring. And I'm like, no, I just want like fantasy all year. But I just read, what was it called? The Nature of Witches. And it's a seasonal magic. It's fantastic. It's got, it's got all the seasons. But for some reason, when it was in like autumn, like it was just perfection. So definitely A Nature of Witches. I would recommend that. It's a fun standalone. It could be a series, but it's a standalone. Though I would like to see what happens next. I like this question I got on my community tab from Klaus, the contradictorian. And he says, how will you celebrate your next Book Jeopardy victory? And I'm like, on a technicality. Because if you haven't seen like my episodes or whatever of Book Jeopardy that I did with Alan, pretty much both of my wins were like technical wins, like come from behind or like somebody like lost more money than me at the end. So I always say that all my wins were on a technicality. So if I celebrate my next book Jeopardy win in January. It will be on a technicality, but it will be definitely worth celebrating because that's the champion of champions. And y'all, I'm scared. I'm scared because I'm not that smart. I just got lucky. Hi, Molly. I like this one too. I got from Daniel. Does your partner or children like to read? Is it a shared hobby? My husband definitely not. Not at all. And my kids, yes. My daughter likes to read. She reads with me. So I let her read to me. My son, he's still kind of little, so I read to him. Oh my god. It's been a long time since I've read any Patterson books. I used to read his books and John Grisham books. I used to love like crime stories. I still do in like TV. I just don't read them as much anymore. I used to love me some Patterson. I like some of the fantasy books that his imprint has done though. Those are always fun. Weren't Let's see. Oh, this one. Oh, from Fit to Be Read. When you started YouTube, did you have like a subscriber goal in mind, and has the goal changed or stayed the same? For this channel, I never had a subscriber goal because I started this one for fun, for funsies, because I've been a content creator for a long time and it was starting to stress me out, and just like the like goals and the reach and the everything that comes along with being a content creator like as a profession. I wanted something to do that was just like fun and that I liked to do. So I started BookTube because I thought it was like fun and I wanted to like meet people and outside of the like mom blogger sphere. So no, I'm just growing at the rate I'm growing and enjoying it. Yeah, I don't read a whole lot of mysteries, but I know I'm about to start, what's it called? Shade? It's more like horror, but it's a new one Chad Nichols did, and it's coming out, I think, in October, and it's called Shade. And it's like mystery thriller, I think slightly horror, but I don't think it's like gory because I don't read gore, and his other book wasn't like gory. 1 year, a little over a year. I think December of 2020. So a year and a half. Look, time means nothing. Time means nothing. I started in December of 2019-ish. So like a year and a half. Mistborn. Brandon Sanderson all the way. The Mistborn series. Like from beginning to end. Like era 1 and era 2. Even though the 4th book and era 2 is not out. Yeah. Mistborn. And Poppy War from beginning to end. I did have some issues with the last book, but I still gave it 5 stars because I loved it. And also the 5th season, or Broken Earth series, but the 5th season is the first book by N.K. Jemisin. I loved that. I loved that series. Yeah, no, I was probably right after I started. Yeah, December 2019. I've been doing other stuff before then. Like I started my Coffee Mom blog and my website and like my Instagram and stuff 5 years ago, but I just kind of decided to throw it all in. It's like, oh, we're pretty locked down and not really doing nothing. Like, let's get back into something fun. Yes, everyone should read the Mistborn series if you like reading. If you like words on pages, you should probably read the Mistborn series. I've only met like 2 people that didn't like it, and they still said it was like okay. I do love Warbreaker. I'm waiting for him to re-release Warbreaker Leatherbound. Warbreaker is the only one I don't own a physical copy of because I want the Leatherbound, because I absolutely despise the US cover. I think it is so ugly. And the UK cover is okay. But like I have US covers in everything else. And like normally I don't really care if my covers match. Like I have all mismatched series. Unpopular opinion, I don't mind my mismatched weird different height book covers. Like they all are. If you look back there, you can be like, that book is all taller than that one. It's like I have a hardback of Oathbringer and a paperback of Way of Kings. Like, my whole series are messed up. What's this one? Oh, here's another one from the community tab. What are your favorite hobbies other than reading? There's something to do other than reading? No, I like to play video games. I just got back into playing Final Fantasy. I've been playing through 13 series on my old. I had to find like plugs for my old Xbox because like it didn't work anymore. Got that to work. I've been playing through that. I'm probably gonna play that later tonight after the kids go to bed. And eating and cooking. Does eating count? Eating is a hobby. I think eating is a hobby. But I love to cook. I love to eat. I like water sports, like scuba diving, swimming, boating, getting tattoos. That's a hobby at this point. Is collecting art. Yes, I love Final Fantasy. I've been playing all the games that like I already have. Like I played 7 remastered. I just beat 7 remastered part 1. Rebeat 10, or we picked up 10 and 10-2. Yeah, I can play those all the time. 10-2 was my first Final Fantasy game ever. Like I just picked it up as a kid. Like I just picked it up at a store because I thought it was pretty. And I wanted to play it. And then I was hooked for like ever. I was like, okay, I'm gonna play all of these now. Oh, and then the second part of that was how many kids do you have and do you read to them? Well, too many, but 2. I have 2 children, and yes, I read to them. Well, the older one reads to me. Yeah, I never played Original 7 until like after I got into it. Like I went backwards. Oh, I'm still always lost. I've played them a lot of them like multiple times. I'm still like, I don't know what's going on, but it's pretty. Like they have the best graphics. I'm still trying to get my hands on a PS5, which will like never happen because when 7 Remastered Part 2 comes out, that's going to be only on PS5, I believe. My favorite kids book. Like as a kid myself, I was a weird kid and I read a lot of Jack London. Like Call of the Wild, White Fang. Those were my favorites. I remember like walking around carrying like Call of the Wild and White Fang with me and like being the weird child. That's what I wanted to read. But anything with sled dogs. I was like weirdly obsessed with sled dogs. I live in Florida. We don't have cold, let alone snow and sled dogs. But I had this like grand idea that I wanted to like run a sled dog team in the Iditarod. And all I can think of now is like I had a Jamaican bobsled team dream moment. Balto. I loved Balto. I watched that with my kids the other day. They were like, "What is this?" I'm like, "We must watch it all the time." Oh, I like this one too. This one's from the community tab. What are your favorite movies and TV shows? I don't watch a whole lot anymore. Just time-wise, but I really like the Netflix shows. I love like Umbrella Academy. Like old school favorite is definitely like Buffy and Charmed and Angel and of course Supernatural. Like I've been to a convention for Supernatural, like nerded out. It was great. I was actually pregnant with my son at that point in time when I went to the Supernatural convention. So that was a thing. Yes, Charmed. Charmed is great. Thank you. I just did your question too. That when I started about the subscriber goals, and no, I had none. I still have no subscriber goals for this channel. Yes. Back then I would have said Phoebe, but now probably Piper. Like it would have been Phoebe like when I was young, but now it's Piper. Like you gotta love her. Oh, school supplies. School supplies are the worst. I took the kids shopping recently for their school supplies and it was a hot mess. They wanted everything, and I'm like, we're getting the basics. They're like, but this is pretty. And I'm like, no. Like, no, it's too much. You don't need all this random stuff. We're getting what's on the list, and that's it. Let's see. I had a bunch over here. Oh, favorite movies. Oh, so for movies and TV shows, movies. Me and my husband have this thing where we watch like cheesy like kung fu movies that are usually like either dubbed or they have like subtitles, so we don't know what they're saying. Like old Jackie Chan movies, like Legend of the Drunken Master. It's a pretty bad movie, but it's good at the same time. And Ip Man. I love the Ip Man movies with Donnie Yen. Just like the first three, because they got like way off the rails after a while. But I love, love the Ip Man movies. And like no one's ever seen them. They're on Netflix. Oh my god. My friend sends me funny pictures all the time. Yeah, you don't need I also want 89 different color pens, but it's not gonna happen. Yes. I'm like, we're not here for that. But I need new video. No, you don't need a new Switch game. You need these number 2 Ticonderoga pencils and some notebooks. Hello. How are you, Katrina? Got you have that I have to sneeze feeling, and then it's like, oh, just kidding. Some of these questions are duplicates. Hobbies other favorite folktale, fairy tale, or myth, and why? I don't know. I like them all. I'm not a big retelling reader either, because part of this is like, what's the best retelling? I've been trying to read more retellings, and so far I haven't found any that I loved. Other than Six Crimson Cranes, which was really, really good. I read Six Crimson Cranes recently, and it was fun. But like I didn't know the original. Like I didn't know the original. So, man, yeah, these kids are expensive. Kids, man. I don't know why notebooks have to be so expensive. That's awesome. I like that. Oh, so my husband just texted me. He's supposed to be racing tonight, right? So we own an auto shop. He owns an auto shop. I'm technical owner, but like I don't know cars that much. They were supposed to go racing. He got the car trailered. You know, the race car is trailered, and he took my truck and like it drove it up to the racetrack, and they closed the race because of a wet track. So you can't drag race in the rain. You can't drag race if the track is wet. But they didn't put the information out. Like he's supposed to get like notifications, and they didn't put out any notifications. They didn't put out anything on their social media or on their website about being closed due to weather. So he gets up there, and they're like, "Oh, we're not racing tonight because you don't drag race in the rain on slicks." So he's now mad and going out to get food with his friend and venting. He's just mad. I'm like, oh, because he has not yet raced the car. Like he's got the car built, but he's never actually taken this current race car to the track. So it was supposed to be the first track night, and it just did not happen. Yeah, I have yet to find one I really love. Like I read a Peter Pan retelling. What was that? Lost in the Neverwood? Didn't like it. I don't think I didn't like it because it was a Peter Pan retelling. Like I just didn't like it. I did like Six Crimson Cranes, but I again didn't know the original story. It's I guess a retelling, but like it was so good. I highly recommend it. But like I didn't know the original story, so maybe that's why. I picked up A Curse So Dark and Lonely, but I haven't read it yet. I can't think of any retellings that I absolutely loved. Unless I didn't know they were retellings, maybe? I don't know. Play-Doh and Minecraft gift card. Yeah, those are not on the school supply list. Switch games was ours. Like, let me get Luigi's Haunted Mansion. I'm like, and do you need that for third grade? No, you don't. And my husband's taking the girl to get new running shoes tomorrow morning because she starts cross country this week. And we want to get her nice shoes. And I'm like, those are expensive, child. Those running shoes, like even for children, are not cheap. And I'm like, because I'm like the cheap parent that buys you like the cheap clothes. Because, like, really, no one cares what you're wearing. And you're going to grow out of it and you're going to destroy it. So, like, I have friends that, like, their kids only wear, like, designer and stuff. And I'm like, who are you? And why? Like, I can't do that. My kid's going to, like, roll in the dirt in 5 minutes and get grass stains on it. I had some from Instagram, too. Oh, apparently I can't hold my phone that close to my headset. It makes noise. What is this one, Vish? Oh my god. It didn't load the whole question and I saved it. It's a, let's say you're in a fantasy world right now. What is your, oh, your weapon of choice, I think is what it is? Yeah. Magic. I don't even know. I would die. I think if I was like in any of the books that I read, I would die. I don't think I'd survive even with like magical powers. I don't think I could survive in any of the books that I read. Yes. Yeah, the middle schoolers are mean. Middle schoolers are rough. That is the most terrifying years for me. Like I'm not looking forward to it. Like my oldest is in third grade now. But I'm like, middle schoolers are rough. I'm reading Race the Sands by Sarah Beth Durst, and I am about over halfway done with it. It's like 500 pages, 550 pages. If this shuts down, that's my power went out because it is starting to storm outside. And I hear weird noises. But yeah, I'm currently reading Race the Sands. It's about 550 pages. I'm 310 pages in. It's so good. It is an adult fantasy standalone. I have it over there somewhere. I've just been powering through it. It is, I mean, Sarah Beth Durst has become my favorite author, I think. Like, she's up there with Brando Sando and like V.E. Schwab. So I am reading that by her, absolutely loving it. It's really cool. She has really cool different magic systems. Like, she's just great. And she writes a ton. And she writes two of the books that I've read by her have been fantasy standalones, adult fantasy standalones. Don't get that often. Yeah, Target and TJ Maxx all day. Walmart too. My son does a lot of, like, I do a lot of the Walmart stuff for him because he's so little. Because, like, he's 4, but almost 5. I keep them in like hand-me-downs. I have friends with kids a little bit older, lots of hand-me-downs, and usually they still have tags on them. That's a great idea. Plain t-shirts are great. Like, this is the one time where I can feel like, for some reason, I hate uniforms due to personal experiences, but I understand them as far as ease of getting your kids dressed. I bet. Look, I will say, like, I don't know what my kids' teachers probably think of me. You know, on the list, it's like, oh, there's the classroom supplies and then yours. I always send it, like, I send in like a box of like 200 sharpened pencils for classroom supplies when it, like, I'm going above and beyond. Like, y'all need this, teachers. You take these 17 things of hand sanitizer and 300 pencils. Just take my kid. Like, I will give you everything you need on this list and more if you just take my child for the day. Yeah, that is perfect. I mean, hey, sometimes you just want to blend in. So that's not a thing anymore? Like nice button-ups for kids? Ah, children. Children are messy. I never know what's cool anymore. Thankfully, mine is still little, so like I'm still cool for the most part. Why is my friend telling me what she had for dinner? Now I'm hungry. Aww. Mine are a little bit older. My daughter is 8 and my son will be 5 on the 17th of September. So we are super close to 5, which stresses me out. Because in my head, he's still a baby. Because he is like my last baby. So it's kind of like bittersweet because everything I'm experiencing is like the last firsts. So it's like the last first day of preschool, the last first name of whatever. Right? Look, all I have like they wanted like, one set of pencils. I'm like, Amazon had like 200 pre-sharpened pencils for like $10. I'm like, ship them right on out. Get them to the teacher. You need something halfway through the year, just tell me, cuz just keep my kid. Also, my kids go to well, both of them go to different schools right now cuz he's in preschool, but girl child goes to public school and or private school, sorry. And I don't know how their funding works. Like, I know we pay tuition, but like a lot of us get scholarship. I do. But so I never know if they make how they're paid private schools versus public schools. A lot of times I've heard that private school teachers are paid less than public school teachers. I don't know how it works, but I'm just making sure that classroom is stocked either way. Thank you. Oh, working. That's no fun. I went back to work in office this past week. And it was like, I don't know what I am doing anymore. I don't know how to be around that many people in person. Thank you, Abby. Same, as long as they fit and they're clean. Like, cool. You do you. Aw, that's really close. September birthdays are great. So many of my nieces and nephews have September birthdays, so we just have to like do one big party. Because like no one gets a birthday party in September because everyone's birthday's in September. I guess a lot of us decided to have babies around Christmas time. We're like, oh, let's have a baby. 9 months later. Yeah, my sister-in-law homeschools. I don't have the patience for it. I wanted to go murder spagurter during digital schooling when we were on full lockdown 2 years ago. Because our school only closed down for half of 2020, the half of the 2019-2020 year. It was miserable. My daughter's also dyslexic, so virtual didn't work very well for her. And with working full time, like it's not my jam. My sister-in-law though, she loves it. And one of my best friends homeschools her 3 kids, absolutely loves it. I'm like, I need to get away from my kids. Like I can't. There's too many of them here in this house and there's only 2. Clean is definitely the key because sometimes I'm like, girl, where'd you get the shirt from? Oh, it was under my bed. Why? Put it in the laundry basket. I'd wash it. Yeah. Oh, for the benefits. Yeah, I love the school my kids go to. Um, I was very picky when it came to picking a private school. For one, we're scholarship kids. Sometimes I have to remind my daughter that when she's talking about all her friends with like their horses and stuff because we're in Central Florida, so it's like horse country. I have to remind her, girl, we're the scholarship kids. You can go hang out with your friend that has the horses, but it's not going to be us. Okay? We don't have a pasture or 6. Like I don't even know. Um, but I really was very picky when it came to picking their school because I went to a private school and had a very very bad experience. Like I was in private school for like 7 years from first grade to seventh grade and had a terrible experience with it. And I didn't want my kids to have that experience. But like some of our public schools are really, really good, but the one we're zoned for was not. So I ended up going, this is actually the one they go to is a STEM school. It is a non-church, it's the only not church affiliated private school like in our area. So I was like, yeah, we'll just go there. Oh, for the school year. But I think different things for different people. Like it's whatever works for you. Some people love it, some people hate it. Like, yeah, same. Like, I mean, a lot of the kids in my daughter's school have some sort of like scholarship because we're not in like a super rich area. So, like, there's some obviously that have like all the horses and they're in that life because it's, I don't know, really big down here for some reason. But a lot of them are like scholarship kids. So it was pretty easy to get the scholarship. So if you want to look, I don't know what state you're in. Oh, sorry. But every state, I think, participates in Step Up for Students, which is like the private school scholarships. Ooh, cover trends. I don't know. You know what? I really like the animated artsy covers. Like I don't necessarily need faces, but I like the artsy. Like I really love like the starless sea. It's got like the big B on it, the UK cover. Not the US cover. And definitely not the US paperback. Oh my god. The US paperback of the Starless Sea hurts my soul. It's so ugly. As much as I like the Charlie Boatwater covers, I'm kind of over them just because there's so many. Like I feel like every YA fantasy book for a while had like a Charlie Boatwater cover, and while they're gorgeous, I was just tired of them. I think I have 2 books that I thought they were the same book that had like a very similar cover. And I'm like, why? Why though? But I really love like when the covers have not people on them. When they're artsy, but they don't have like people. Though I really, really like the cheesy fantasy covers. Like old cheesy fantasy, like my Wheel of Time old hardbacks. A self-help book? I have to look that up now. That's hysterical. UK covers 9 times out of 10 are so much prettier. There's only literally Sanderson books are the only ones where I like pretty much the US over the UK. Cause like I find like the UK ones are just like white and kind of boring. But I really, really like the Sanderson US covers. Yes, they are. They are old school, cheesy, glorious, epic fantasy cheesiness. And I love them. I got all of mine at like a library book sale. Mm-mm. No, I've only read 2. I read the first 2. I need to get to the third one. What's it called? I don't even know what the third one's called, but it's up there somewhere. Somewhere. But yeah, I've read the first 2 and I really liked them. I liked the second one a lot more than the first one. The first one was rough. It was good, but it was slow going. It was a slow start. And it's like I'm okay with a slow start, but it was a real slow start. But I enjoyed it at the end. And then book 2 I found much better. So hopefully book 3 is even better. But then I don't know. There's a slog. Has anyone read the whole series? Because I know there's like the slog, and I don't know what books those are. So I don't know. It's a lot of commitment to read all those. And I've been reading through the whole Cosmere this year. So I'm like, I don't know if I can commit to that much. I can't. Commitment is scary. Yeah. Like you need a break. Like I can't. Like you need a break. Something to break them up. Oh, the third one's the Dragon Reborn? Just kidding. I don't know what they're all called. That's really bad. I have them. Oh, the second one's the Great Hunt. That's right. The first one is The Eye of the World, The Great Hunt, Dragon Reborn. There's like 14 of them. I can't remember all those names. My brain doesn't work that way. I've got questions from Instagram too, though. Oh, what was your favorite book so far in 2021? The Bone Maker by Sarah Beth Durst. That was actually hard because I've read some really good ones this year. The Bone Maker by Sarah Beth Durst was fantastic. Who called me? Why do 1-800 numbers leave voicemails? I think it's spam. I think they want me to talk about my car's extended warranty. If they left me a voicemail for that, I'm gonna be like, we should listen to it live. This random voicemail, watch it be like something super like weird. But yeah, I get off track easily. Y'all love this about me. See, that's good to know. I mean, I like the second one a lot more than the first one. I'm excited to read them all, but I need a break between them. Oh, we only have one. So, how did Sando do? I've heard that he does really well picking it up when Jordan died. Yes, they are. So, I've already read Way of Kings and Words of Radiance. So, I'm not rereading them. I'm going to reskim them with everybody. But I had like just read them this year. So, I'm probably not rereading those, but I'm going to give myself that extra time to make sure I'm caught up on Oathbringer and Rhythm of War so I can like those might be my only books the months that we read it because they're long. Long. Let's see what this voicemail is. No, I just want to see what the voicemail is. Oh, okay. They want to talk about my car's extended warranty, which I don't understand. I have a used Yukon. Like it's Ah, hi. Enjoy your dinner. I'm starving. Like just ate pasta with the kids and I'm like my husband's like I'm going out to eat. I'm like I want to go out to eat. But like I really don't. So I'm like save my money. Like I might convince him to bring me something home. I was like, "What are you eating?" You know, I might convince him to bring me something home. Something, a snack, a late night snack. Ooh. Oh, now that sounds fun. We've been talking about having a casino night, and I really want to go. I want to have a kid-free night and go to the casino. Oh, and Mistborn was my first Sanderson book, and my first like Cosmere book. I just finished the book 3 of Era 2, and we're actually doing a live show tomorrow on Books Before Death's channel for our Cosmere Crab Along to talk about Era 2 book 3. Because book 4 will be coming out next year and that will wrap it up. So, man, Mistborn is so good. I still need to finish the last 2 books of Stormlight and get caught up there. Hey, that's awesome. Enjoy your food. Win lots of money. I'm not really a big gambler, but I like the slot machines. My husband likes like cards and stuff. Oh yeah, I didn't even try. Not my jam. Not I'm sorry. If anyone loves 50 Shades, that's cool. It's not for me. I just there's so much no. I couldn't watch the movies either. Couldn't read the books. They're just not I love the Mistborn books. I love Stormlight, but like Words of Radiance, the second one, I loved Way of Kings. I loved Words of Radiance even more. So I'm excited to see what I think about the rest. But I have to say, since I finished Mistborn, definitely top tier, top favorite. Yes. Not at all. We can't tell at all. I cannot play. I'm not good at like card games. I always wanted to learn how to count cards though. I know it's not illegal, but it's like frowned upon. I just always found it fascinating. Wait, there's an animated spoof. 50 Shades of Santa. That sounds terrible and amazing all at the same time. Like, that sounds both good and bad. And I'm gonna have to watch that. Where are the rest of the Instagram ones? I keep losing my spot. My friend Monica asked, when are you ever going to read Do You Dream of Terra 2? Yes, this month. I'm going to read Do You Dream of Terra 2 this month, Monica. Thank you. Hi! Enjoy your dinner. I'm still waiting to see if my husband brings me dinner. I read some fantasy romance, but usually not like where the romance is like the focus. Like I haven't read like ACOTAR, but I read a lot where like like there is romance in it. Like I like a nice romance. Like I didn't like a lot of the YA ones. I didn't like Cruel Prince or Throne of Glass. Those are pretty much like I think YA fantasy romance. But like I really liked Ash Princess, which is pretty romance heavy. And what's the other one? Oh, Air Awakens by Elise Kova is a fantastic like older YA like fantasy romance, and it's on Kindle Unlimited. It's glorious. It's so gloriously done. Thank you. Like contemporary romance. Like I don't want to read about just like two people in real life falling in love. That sounds so. I don't watch like movies like that or TV shows like that. Like I know this will be controversial, but like I don't really like The Notebook movie. I don't watch a lot of rom-coms, like older ones, yes, but like they're just not my jam anymore. Like just like adult romance. I don't know. Not my cup of tea. Oh my god. Stormlight, probably. Or Mistborn. Anything with Sanderson or N.K. Jemisin written, I will read and love in my favorites. I have not. I've heard of it though. It's healing really good. It's finally not super itchy. So that's nice. I go back in on the 6th of September and I have my second session. It'll probably be 3 sessions, I'm thinking. So that would be 10 more hours because each session's about 4 to 5 hours. So I don't know. We'll see how much we get done in session number 2 because I doubt it's just a basic outline right now. So there's still some more line work. There's still shading and then color. So at least 2 to 3 more sessions, if not more. So hopefully by the end of the year, it'll be done. That's my goal is the end of the year. Yeah. It's not too terrible. Outline is the worst part, in my opinion. Like for any tattoo, the outline is the worst. And then when you start like shading and coloring, it's not as bad. Like it gets better, but like you hit a wall. At a certain point, like timing wise, your body just shuts down. So like after like 5 hours, I was just done. Like I just started shaking. Like I couldn't stop it. It's not like it even like hurt that bad, but it's just like my body was like, we're over this. And it was like, you had to finish up the last few lines. So it was like the last 20 minutes sucked a lot. But they were also like up high. Yes. Just black lines. Yeah, I have a few. I started out really small and then got bit by the bug and I got, my full back piece. So that's what we're working on now. This one was the other recent one, but it's really weird to show on camera. But it's like watercolor. It's got like the kids' zodiacs and stuff, which I love it. And then this will be a full sleeve when it's done. But that'll be a while down the road. Probably Elise Kova. I really love Elise Kova. And then I really, really also enjoyed, oh my, ML Wang? Yeah, ML Wang. I had a brain moment, a brain fart. She wrote Sword of Kaigen, which it's like my favorite. Honestly, I mean, this isn't like my full, like, this doesn't come down all the way to my wrist, but it wasn't, this area of my arm was not bad at all. I sat for, 4 hours to get this done, and it was just done. My favorite complete one is my my arm. Although I never consider it complete because I'm probably going to end up wrapping it all the way around with like the solar system. But it's an hourglass. It's so hard to see. It's an hourglass. I'll put up a picture. So it's an hourglass and it's like the sun fading down, and then it has my mom's handwriting on it. So it says to infinity and beyond in my mom's handwriting, and then I have both of the kids' zodiac signs incorporated into it. Oh, I love that quote. I do love that quote. I think it's perfect. I thought about getting a phoenix incorporated into my sleeve on this arm, but because it's going to be all like bookish characters and stuff in this one. Oh, a compass would be cool too. I love that. I thought about getting a compass when I got the hourglass. Yes, it is. Ugh. How can I can't burn any of them? Probably Alloy of Law is my least favorite. We can burn Alloy of Law. Rewrite Shadows of Self and keep Hero of Ages. Or Bands of Mourning. I loved Bands of Mourning. Read it. You need to get to Sword of Kaigen. Especially as a mom. It's a gut punch. Because our main character is a mom and she has like 3 boys. And it's so good. It's so, so good. There is ice swords. And they're really cool. Ew. I don't know. We're going to burn them all. No. I don't know. It's so hard to even pick to rewrite one of them. Hi! Thank you. An Archer voice. It's so good, y'all. Anybody that has not read it, like, needs to. Is it perfect? No. Because it's self-published, so there's, like, some errors that you catch, but, like, it just hits you in all the feelings. We were just talking about you. Or I was. Ooh. My dog just, like, knocked over the thing. Here we go. I was just saying your question from Instagram was, when are you going to read Do You Dream of Terror 2? And it's on the September TBR. It's actually sitting on my desk or on my thing back there. It's sitting right there, staring at me. My Monica TBR back there. Right? Hey! Yeah, it's been the neighborhood. I haven't seen y'all in a while. I need to get out walking again in the neighborhood with the heathens. I said that you were crazy and you want me to read all your favorite books for September. And that's literally what I'm doing. I am. I'm reading Dune, Good Night, Midnight, Good Morning, Midnight, Do You Dream of Terror 2? I'm literally reading a whole sci-fi TBR. What else do we got back there? A Memory Called Empire, Gideon the Ninth, The Humans, and Project Hail Mary. We're going to try to read all of those in September. Oh, and Leviathan Wakes. I know. I'm back to work in office now, which sucks. I'm like, can I just work from home forever, please and thank you? Oh, other than the community, I like hearing about books that I would have like just like stumbled across. Like, because for a while, the only way that you like I would find books is like, oh, let's see what's in Barnes and Noble. So I'd be like, oh, what's there? What's in Barnes and Noble? But now it's like I have this focus of like, okay, these books sound great. I know. I have the ever growing TBR. So much I want to get to. I want ice cream. Yes, I'm excited for Dune. I have it sitting back there to read very soon. Very, very soon. And Evie, it's almost September. So I'm very excited. I'm counting down days. I'm excited. Me and Kate are buddy reading it. I've heard it's really good. I'm excited. I picked up the second one too, so I hope I really like it. I'm so excited, Evie. It's gonna be so fun. I already nailed down a sitter. Like Jeff is making sure he closes up the shop early. Like we've got this. We're both very excited. Oh God, I don't even know. I'm too scared to count it. When I counted at the beginning of 2020, I had about 200 unread books on my shelves. Now, some of those I've read, but then I've also bought more. So, like, I'm going to go with 250 at least. Okay, so I would probably like it then. If it's very well of ascension-y, I think I'm going to like it. Because I'm just afraid that I'm too stupid to read it. So, like, half of my friends have, like, DNF'd it because they're like, it's too smart for me. And I'm like, I'm not that smart, y'all. So I've read the first chapter, and so far I liked it. I'm also going to murder my husband. Why is he sending me pictures of his half-eaten sunnies and not bringing me some home? Rude. I would like some barbecue as well. And he can't just send me a picture of food that he's eating with his friends and not bring it home. Yeah. I really liked the first all I've read is the first chapter so far. And I liked it. It was different. Yeah, I actually just hit my Goodreads goal for the year. I put 52. I'm always put my Goodreads goal at 52, and I hit it the other day. He's typing. I think he just doesn't want to get murdered. Ugh, he's like, we're in Gainesville, so it'll be cold by the time I get home. I mean, he's not wrong. We're sending him crying faces. I'm excited for Memory Called Empire. I agree, Abby. I need a pause. I need to stop. Especially Sanderson needs to just chill out on his writing for a minute. All time. 5th season by N.K. Jemisin. Probably. That book was a gut punch too. It had me bawling with it like a single page. Like the first page. Not the overarching storyline. Good to know. I don't want his look, I'm very distracted by my husband being like, well, I can bring you my leftovers. He's like, I can bring you my leftovers. I'm like, but I like pulled pork and what are those things called? Corn nuggets. Tots with cheese and onions? That just sounds gross. Like tater tots? I don't want his leftovers. I'm being picky. I'm like, I don't want your leftovers. That's why microwaves. We don't have one. I mean, I have an oven and a toaster oven, but we don't have a microwave. And it's not because of it. Every time I tell people we don't have a microwave, they think it's because like that we're crazy and think about like the radioactive waves. No, I just don't have enough cabinet like counter space and I don't like how it looks on my counter. So when we remodel, I'm doing a built-in. Agreed. Good. You're gonna love it. It's fantastic. Oh, go charge that battery. Yeah. Because I'm like, I don't even like that my toaster oven sits on my counter. I don't like things on my counter, like at all. I don't want anything on my kitchen counter. I'm so weird like that. Like, as you can see, everything in my life is cluttered, but like my kitchen, I like completely like empty. And that's weird because I don't know why. I just don't like stuff cluttering the counters. Probably because I cook so much and I'm always like spread out everywhere. I just told him, I'm like, I don't really want your leftovers. When I can afford it. Man, flying over there is expensive. Flying over there, getting there is the expensive part. That's the problem. But we've actually talked about wanting to. I've always wanted to go to Spain anyway. So now I have more of a reason. But no, I want to eventually, like when I feel like when obviously travel is like more of a bigger thing. Like I want to travel with my kids and take them places because I feel like everyone gets frustrated that, oh, why would travel with small kids? Like, why would you not travel with your small kids if you can? You can afford it. So I won't have more kids. Having two is expensive enough. And like my dad's like, aren't you gonna have more? No, unless you want to fully fund it from birth to college. You can fully fund it because I'm done funding children. Yes, I countertops have to be clear. Girl, you know I will. I'm just gonna leave the man and the kids at home. Fly on over. That's one of those trips where I just leave everyone else at home. Like I leave Jeffrey with the heathens and I say, "Bye, I'm going on vacation." I still haven't gotten a response to, "I can bring you what I have left over." I was like, "I don't really want your leftovers." He's like, "But it's brisket." He tries. Yes. I mean, I'll have finished it before then. That's probably one of the first ones I'm gonna try to read in September. That and Dune and Leviathan Wakes. Like those are my three that I like just really, really want to get to. Even though I have so many, how many do I have now? I have a ton of NetGalley arcs. Yes, Evie. Yes, he is. I think a good response would be like, well, I can take you out to dinner tomorrow. He's trying to think of a not murdered response. Though granted he was supposed to be out until like 10 or 11 p.m. Like he wasn't supposed to be coming home because his race got postponed. I'm scared of Dune just because it's so hyped. But I just have this feeling that I'm gonna love it. But I'm afraid to hurt my own feelings because I know like the mom and her name is Jessica and like she's apparently amazing and you know that's my thing. Like if you have an amazing mom in your book, I'm down. And yes, I'm trying to see how many I have. It's ridiculous. I have some from August that I didn't finish. I just yeah, I have some that like were published. Oh, I have one that got published in February that I didn't read. Oops. I went a little crazy. I have some that I'm really excited about here on NetGalley. Oh, I have Under the Whispering Door. But TJ Klune, All of Us Villains, When Night Breaks. That one's high up because it's a sequel. But me and NetGalley have not been friends lately. I've been trying to stay off of it because I just request and request and request. It does seem like a fun one. That one just seems fun. Like it sounds like a good time. I think I'm a lover too. Like I said, I read the first chapter, and so far I was like, okay. Yeah. And I mean, I know, like, I'm going into it knowing, like, this is older, this is classic sci-fi. So I think knowing that, like, being aware that, like, okay, this is older, this is classic sci-fi, there's going to be issues, da 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 da. I think I'm going in, like, preparing myself to be like, it's tropey or whatever. But man, that movie trailer, whoo, that movie trailer looked so good. I mean, Jason Momoa. I mean, you really don't need to tell me anything other than Jason Momoa's in it, and I'm good. And what's the other guy's name? Oscar Isaac that plays the dad. Yeah, a white man in the 70s. Like that's literally as long as I go in knowing this. Yeah, the trailer looks amazing. I love the cast. I'm not a big Timothy Chalamet fan, but like I'm sure he's good. He's not my favorite actor. But like Zendaya, she's up there. Jason Momoa and Oscar Isaac, and I think isn't Batista in there? Like I'm ready, but I want to read it first. Now I'm on NetGalley. I need to stay off NetGalley. The cast is so great. I would watch any movie with half of them. So I would watch. Oh, and then got the old Skarsgård, one of the older Skarsgårds, Daddy Skarsgård. There's a lot of them Skarsgård people in Hollywood. And I'm very bad at remembering like names. So that's just what we get. All right, I need to stay off NetGalley because I was like looking to see how many I had, and I'm like, ooh, maybe there's something new. Stop. I need to stop myself from requesting anything. Yes. Yes. Like that right there sold me. Same. I'm always like, this sounds good. And then by the time I get it, I'm like, but I want to read this now. Like, that's why my TBRs are piles of possibility. They are what I'm feeling in the moment, and I try to pick from them. But that's also why I don't do a ton of like buddy reads and stuff like that because I know like I can commit to like 2 buddy reads. And that's why like readathons, I like very open prompts. Yes, Stellan. I know hey, it's one of them Skarsgårds. It's not the hot Skarsgård, but that's fine. Isn't he like their dad or something? The attractive Skarsgård's dads or uncle. I know they're all related. Somehow they're all related. Yeah, Alexander. Yeah, they're his boys, his babies. Oh yeah, he's definitely not. But his sons, like his real life sons, bro. Alexander Skarsgård? Yes, sir. He has a lot of kids. Yeah, I thought he was their dad. I just had to look it up, but man, Alexander. And yes, Bill too. They got some good genes. They got some good. Are they Russian or German? Gothenburg. Sweden. He got some good Swedish genes. I just Wikipedia'd him because I was like, I know he's like their dad or their uncle. They're in the same family. So what are y'all reading right now? Oh, that's easy. I want a Kings of the Wild musical in my life. I want Kings of the Wild, but I want it as like a musical. I love that you two just asked like the same question like a minute. Like obviously didn't like at the same time. It's got the same timestamp. So another one would be I want a musical for City We Became. Which is not my favorite Jemison, but I think in a musical format would be fantastic. No, did I? No, I didn't pick that up. I picked up Hinge. I looked at picking that one up though. Your fourth reread. You're fantastic. I want it as a musical. I want like a We Are Spinal Tap-esque fantasy musical classic rock. Like I want that so bad. I don't know who we'd cast, but man, we need it to happen. And we need what's his face somewhere in the movie. We need Hugh Jackman. I don't care who he plays. We just need Hugh Jackman in that movie. Okay, I haven't read Deal with the Elf King yet, but I love all her other books. Elise Kova's. I loved the Air Awakens series. I haven't read Deal with the Elf King yet. I heard it's good. Yes! Oh my god. I can't wait to talk about that. That short story changes how I love the Mistborn series, Era 1 and 2. Secret History changes everything. It changes the whole game. It makes me want to go back and reread the whole series. It blows my mind. I know. Yeah, it wasn't my favorite of hers, but man, but just imagine it. You read the whole thing, I believe. Imagine it as like a Broadway musical. I think it would be really good in that format. Oh, I've heard that one's good. He would be a perfect Moog. He would. He would nail that. I just love Hugh Jackman in anything. Yes. Neon lights, dark backgrounds. It'd be like a lot of like rap music because of Brooklyn. And then like you'd have just like different kinds of music. Oh, I just think it would be much better as a musical, like a Broadway musical, than as just a book. She needs to sell them rights to like get some rights for something because I would love that. We should make that. That and Kings of the Wild needs to happen for musicals. So there's just not enough good fantasy inspired musicals. At least that I can think of. You liked a musical because of him. I love musicals. My husband hates them. I love The Greatest Showman. My daughter, look, she will watch that every single day if I let her. And I don't get mad about it. We usually like listen to the soundtrack in the car on the way to school. And Sweeney Todd. I don't let Willow watch that. But Sweeney Todd is another absolute favorite musical. But a lot of that stems from my love of Johnny Depp. It is. Even knowing that like it's nothing like your real life P.T. Barnum. Like He was not a good guy that, like, loved everybody. Like, even knowing that, I'm like, "But it's fiction. It's so good. I don't wanna read about I don't wanna watch a musical with, like, a singing douchebag like P.T. Barnum really was." We ignore that part. We do ignore that part. I don't care. Like, I know that real P.T. Barnum is a douchebag. And I still love Hugh Jackman's P.T. Barnum. Jeff knows if I were to ever, I would shoot that shot. He still has not replied to I don't want your leftovers. In case anyone is still interested in the leftover saga, I have gotten no response to I don't really want your leftovers. He's seen the message though, because you can see. I'm gonna poke the bear. Like, well, what you do? Because it's like I can't go anywhere because he has my truck. And I can't drive my truck right now because there's a big trailer on it. Even like if he just brought me my truck, he'd have to unload the car. Because there's a car on it. Yes, I love it. I actually just ordered, or not just, but like I ordered the Illumicrate special edition that should be here, I think, in October. It's so good. That and the Starless Sea. I like the Starless Sea a little bit more, but I really, really enjoyed the Night Circus. Like, I read it super quick. Terra 2. I'm most excited to read Terra 2 out of all the ones that like my my Monica books. That's the one I'm most excited for. Because I feel like it's just been staring at me forever. Because I bought it a while ago. And it's just been like looking at me from my shelf, going, bitch, read me. And I have failed. Now he hasn't read the message. He has not read the new message of so what's going on. In case anyone's interested in the will Jesse or will Jesse not get food drama. Oh, that's a message from somebody else. Really? I mean, if I hate it, I'm not going to be mad because I found it at the Dollar Tree for $1. I don't even know what it's about. I literally found it for $1 and knew, hey, Monica liked this. I'm okay with slow. Is it slow in the way that We Were Satellites was slow? Because that was pretty slow. That was very quiet, slow sci-fi. Monica is definitely more of my sci-fi reader. I get my sci-fi recommendations from her, but my favorite recent is Born by Jeff Vandermeer, which Monica also is the one that turned me on to that. So thank you for that, Monica. Everyone should go check out Monica because if you like sci-fi, she's your girl. But yeah, Born by Jeff Vandermeer. It's like weird sci-fi and it's fantastic. Like, it's just weird. You just have to go into it knowing it's called weird sci-fi for a reason. And then I picked up like a bunch of other Jeff Vandermeer books and haven't read them yet. But I think he has that same like weird style throughout. Like, I picked up Southern Reach and haven't read it yet. But I want to. I mean, we'll see. It's short though, so I'll get through it quick. I hope, maybe. We'll see. Maybe I'll surprise you and like it. Born is the best. Literally, like Born is fantastic. I love it. I want to reread it. I got Dead Astronauts to read too. Because I think that's like a spin-off of it or like a prequel, like it happened before. I know. She needs to stop. But don't. But don't stop. But stop. I have so many books. Yeah. And the thing is like, I feel like everyone's like, Monica hates everything. But like, if Monica really loves something, like, I'm probably gonna love it. Even if we don't agree all the time. I still love you, Monica. I know you were disappointed in my clickbaity title on my least favorite Sanderson vlog. But really, White Sands was terrible. Just don't do it. It's like, I feel like you kind of need to read White Sands to read the rest of the Cosmere for like one little Easter egg moment, but like, it's terrible, but at least it's short. Yeah, that's what I keep hearing. That's why I haven't picked it up. Because it's funny to say that you hate everything. Because I love you. You don't hate everything. You hate, but when you hate something, you make it known. I think that might be more it. But when you love something, you also make it very known. Here's a passionate person, Monica. No, I think it is too. It's definitely a lot of his stuff borders on sci fantasy. N.K. Jemison's does too, at least for Broken Earth. Because I feel like with his super like hard magic systems, they're very science based. So I don't disagree there. I think it's very like sci fantasy. I know. You liked Kings of the Wild though. You like Shadow and Bone more than me. Yeah, I only read volume 1. Literally, there was nothing you need to know except for there's one character that shows up in other Cosmere stuff. That was it. Like, I cared nothing for White Sands. And it burned my eyeballs looking at it. I love your passion. So we love about you. Yes, but I think it's sci fantasy. Because it's like, it leaves more fantasy, but it's like that science-y side of it. Like, it's not like the loose, until you get into the later books. But like that first book is more science-y than the other two, I think. Because she did a lot of research on like, oh my god, I can't think of the word. Orogeny. That's a real word too. I didn't know that. Like, she didn't make that up, and I really thought she did. But it's like the actual study of earthquakes or something like that. A process in which a section of the Earth's crust is folded and deformed. Yeah, I didn't know she didn't make that up. Exactly. That's how I feel about Real Housewives. I love it, but I know it's trash. But I'm trash for trash. Oh, if you want fun sci-fi, read, what's the name of that book, Monica? Oh my god, that we both loved, that I sent you for your birthday? The Disasters. Read The Disasters by M.K. England. Oh my god, it's like a fun found family space romp with amazing characters. So if you want a fun sci-fi, definitely The Disasters by N.K. England. And Born, I wouldn't say is fun, but it's interesting and weird. It's so good. I want to read it again. I do. A lot of times the lines I think are really blurred. Sanderson blurs the lines a lot with his books. And I like that. I think more hard magic systems are more sciencey blurred. And then I feel like some books just get misclassified. Yeah, The Disasters, it's so underrated. Like, no one talks about it. And they should. Like, I'm surprised that The Disasters isn't like a booktube darling. Because it literally has everything that I feel like everybody with like big booktube channels really likes in a book. Yes. Because, yeah, I feel like it has everything that like booktube loves, right? Everything. It's got a diverse cast. It's got found family. It's got space travel. It's got like such a diverse like group of kids in it. And like no one talks about it. Yes, I would watch every second of that. I love that. Ooh, I haven't read that one. Same. It's found family. I'm sold. Well, guys, it's been fun, but I hear children in the background begging to be put to sleep. So we will have to do this again. I don't think I'm going to wait. I think I'm going to try to do more live streams because they are fun. I just am struggling with time management right now. Going back to the office has been like, bah! But I think old lady needs to go outside and the kids need to be wrangled into bed. And just in case anybody wants to know, on the food saga, Jeffrey has not responded and he has not read the last message. So I wonder if that means he's driving and like got me nothing except for his leftover burnt ends, which I will eat. I think you should. I love that. I read everything except for like adult romance. Although I read weird Alice in Wonderland smut the other day and really enjoyed it. It's on Kindle Unlimited. What's it called? Into the Madness. It was trash. It was one of those where it's like, you know, this is trash and you know it's like 100 and something pages and you know it's all about the smut. But I was like, I'm here for this. I'm down. I'm down for some Alice in Wonderland reverse harem weirdness. Didn't disappoint. But apparently there's 3 books. Only the first one was good. All right. Bye, guys. And yeah, we're actually doing a live stream tomorrow on Books Before Death about Mistborn Era 2, the last book, and Secret History. So I'll be there for that too. After I get my second pokey poke in the morning. So hopefully I'm not dead to the world and like passed out sleeping. Because I get the second pokey pokes. And then the Hubs goes like a couple days after me to get his second pokey pokes. Thank you guys for coming. I always feel like no one's gonna come to these things. I'm like, I'm boring. I'm just an old lady mom. All right. Bye guys. Before these kids like eat each other.